Hey, what's up everyone? It's Kieran here from Gaming Logics, and welcome to part 2 of the Halo 4 Let's Forge. So, on this episode, we're going to be, sorting out a few things, but, referring back to the last episode, we were just building the general structure of it, and I do apologise that this episode is pretty short, but we had to do it in a rush because we were just about to head out to the Black Ops 2 midnight release. You've probably seen that on our channel. What I'm doing here is just trying to cap off this area. I know I said on the last episode I was going to cap it off so no one could jump up on the sides. So I'll try using these little things. I think they're called, like, I don't know, some covers or something. Columns, that's what they're called, columns. Okay, so we're putting down some columns. I'm going to see if we're able to climb over these. If so, then we're obviously going to have to go for something a little bit higher. I've got the magnet set and the I don't think I've got coordinates set. I've got magnets set because this is too much sort of handiwork for coordinates, because obviously you have to get it perfectly in the right position, and obviously coordinates aren't just going to give you that sort of positioning. So we'll try this out and see what this looks like. See if we can jump over this. Yep, unfortunately we can still jump over this, so I'm going to have to change it for something a little bit higher. And like I said before, I think I might just go for covers, because even though it may look a little bit silly and a little bit stupid, it's going to keep people out, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that no one can cheat and get onto the roof. So this should be just high enough. Okay, so we'll put them all the way around just in case someone finds some sort of cheaty way to get around it. We don't want that really. Now I think on this video, as I am commentating this after I have actually made the video, I think at one point I forget to actually do the other side. Now I'm not too sure if I need to do the other side or not, but I'll definitely try that out and check, because obviously that's going to be a big flaw. We can't have people just breaching the map, because that's obviously going to take the fun out of the map in itself, and it's going to make it too difficult for the fat boy to actually do anything. Okay, just repositioning these. I think that should be fine where it is. I think we might need to change this bottom one a bit because it's a little bit out of line. So we'll just twist this. So that to me seems pretty fine. I think what we'll do now is we'll move on to actually doing something about this ramp. I know I put a temporary ramp around here last time, but I've deleted that as far as now, and I'm going to change it with something else. Now I read from the comments that someone said we should probably put gravity fields here, which allows you to, it basically allows you to edit the gravity of the area so you can jump higher in that area. And what that'll allow us to do is to basically jump up to, the place, that little gap there that we need to get to basically. But I remember actually filming this part, I was a little bit confused because there was one where it was basically like this one here, you could see where the gravity field was, a bit like, where you can see where the King of the Hill area is, for instance. But I tried the invisible version of it, and it still sort of showed up when I was in player mode, so I was a little bit confused by that. So whoever it was, the guy that said, oh yeah, use the gravity fields, if you could, just comment back saying how to actually make the gravity field invisible to player mode. I don't know whether you have to be generally in a game mode to actually see that it's invisible or not. But yeah, obviously it didn't become invisible for me, and you'll see that in a second. But just looking at this now, you can see, you know, how it sort of affects the gravity and allows you to jump higher and whatnot. That's the invisible gravity field there, which I'll put down in a second. But it didn't. It you know, you'll see how, like, I go into game mode, player mode, and it still is visible to the player character, which is a little bit annoying, as you can see here. But it still does the same thing. You can still jump, crouch into that sort of into that area. But I'm obviously just gonna have to learn how you actually do it. See, that's quite a nice little touch there. It shows, you know, how, because the thing's snapped apart, it's actually giving you some gravity I don't know, whatever. It doesn't work, basically. The gravity's fucked up. Yeah. So let's start expanding onto this space station now. We'll put a little bit more. We'll maybe ramp it off a bit, and we'll sort out the gravity field a little bit later when someone's contacted us back, maybe, or we actually find out how to do it. But we'll put in some more stuff now. I just want to point out again that this video in itself is just going to be me testing out a bunch of things. You know, I'm going to be going over how, you know, I could use gravity or man cannons as a sort of trap, which I thought would be quite interesting considering we're in space. We could maybe even possibly eventually be using the actual gravity fields themselves as traps. You might need to jump into a gravity field to get to one part of the space station to another, for instance, in a more distant sort of manner, instead of just jumping from one platform to another. I think this is looking nice so far, though. It's definitely sticking to a space station feel. It's not, you know, rerouting to some sort of stupid map that has a bunch of different directions. We're going to try and span it off, though, so, you know, you can take different directions if you wanted to. If you wanted to go to one sort of area, if you wanted to escape the map through escape pods, possibly you could go one direction. But if you want to escape the map through, you know, maybe going to the little building that's on the asteroid, for instance, that I showed you in a previous episode, you could maybe go a different direction. But for now, we're going to stick to one route, and we'll expand upon them. We'll go in different directions after that, because I think as long as we've got one fixed direction, it should be fine. As you can see here, I'm just placing down man cannons, and the end of this video is basically me it's comprised of just me trying to get these gravity lifts to work. So it could be a little bit boring, and as I said, apologies if this video in itself is a little bit boring. But we're definitely going to try and liven up the next one, as we are going to actually start doing some of the traps itself. This was basically just a test. What this challenge or trap in itself was meant to be is there's going to be a number of different gravity cannons or man cannons in this corridor going down, and you have to try and weave your way past them, try and avoid them, so that you don't get hit and pushed back up to the top of the ramp. And I'm obviously just trying to position them now so that they actually do that, because it seemed that even though I got really close to them, it still didn't push me back. You know, it was a little bit, I had to sort of try and mess with it quite a bit just to get it into the right position. So I'm not too sure whether man cannons are the best thing to use. Maybe I should use gravity lifts or whatever. But please guys, you know, on the first video we got a few views. I'm hoping that whoever views this one next will actually give us a few comments on what they think the trap should be like on this one, because obviously it's a little bit weird that they didn't put barricades to be destructible on this one, because for instance if you place down a barricade on Forge mode you can't actually knock it down or destroy it. You can maybe chip off the edges or whatnot, but it doesn't allow you to actually push the barricade over, which is a little bit annoying, especially for an Omega Journey map, because obviously it limits the amount of traps you can use. We've experimented with crates and whatnot, and we're gonna have a little look around. And but yeah, definitely, like I said, if there's anything you think should be in here, just tell us, you know. I think our next project, I'll just point this out now, it's early days, but I might as well, is going to be something like Duck Hunt, if you can remember that map. That could be something exciting. I think it'll be a lot easier than this, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't put as much effort into it or not. But yeah, this has been episode 2 of Let's Forge, been making the Omega Journey map. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please rate, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.